something I'm noticing right now across Ocean City, Absecon Island, and the mainland. Buyers are still absolutely buying, but they are not forgiving. And I'm seeing the difference between the homes that are moving right now and the ones that are still sitting. And believe it or not, it's not location, it's not condition, it's pricing strategy. So I want to walk you through exactly what I'm seeing this week because it tells a story worth paying attention to. Hi, I'm JoAnn Donahue. I have 27 years in this market. I have 4 generations of family roots on Absecon Island alone. This is home. So consider this your South Jersey Shore market in minutes, where I'm going to give you the unfiltered picture of what's actually happening across the shore right now, so that you, whatever decision you're facing, you're making it with eyes wide open. But before I break this down market by market, I do want to quickly explain how I actually study this stuff, because I think that matters. Every single morning, I pull the MLS Multiple Listing Service hot sheet for the previous 24 hours. Here's what I'm looking for: new listings, properties under contract, price changes, back on markets, and even the expired properties. Then I pull the active 3 days report because that shows me the freshest inventory hitting the market. That's where I start seeing sellers holding firm on pricing, sellers making reductions quickly, or sometimes I see them making huge adjustments just trying to get attention. And whether people realize it or not, those moves tell a story. That tells me how the sellers are reacting to the market in real time, allowing me to also help my sellers make a decision about a list price when the time comes for them. After that, I study the under contract 7 days report because that shows me buyer demand. It tells me what buyers are willing to move on right now, not just what sellers are hoping for. Now listen, the national housing news absolutely matters. It's out there for all of us to pay attention to, and I do. But real estate is incredibly local. Ocean City behaves differently than Margate. So while the national headlines are helpful as a whole, my real focus stays on what's actually happening right here in this market that I work in every day. Now, before I break this down market by market, let me give you the headline that this week actually became, because it connects everything. This market still rewards proper positioning from day one. Buyers are active, but they are no longer forgiving overpriced inventory. That's it. That's the update. But I'm going to continue. That sentence, everything I'm about to show you, I will give you the evidence from here on in. In Ocean City this week, here's what I saw. 7 new active listings came to the market. 10 properties went under contract. More going under contract than coming on. That tells me inventory is still being absorbed. Buyers are not sitting on their hands. Of those 7 properties, 4 of them came out priced correctly and were under contract within 14 days. And here's the one that gets people's attention. A property at $5.1 million went under contract the same day it listed. I mentioned that not to talk about the luxury market specifically, but because some people really believe and have this assumption that high-end buyers disappeared. They didn't. I say it this way, they became more intentional. When the right property comes out at the right number, they move just like everyone else in all other markets. So Ocean City continues showing something I've been watching closely. Strong properties that come out positioned correctly are still finding buyers, even at higher price points. On Absecon Island, where we have Atlantic City, Ventnor, Margate, and Longport, the story this week is about adjustments creating movement. I've been watching a property that had been sitting for 161 days. After some repositioning, it's now under contract. Another property was in Margate. A seller who had been chasing the market down came down $205,000, and after that reduction, it got traction. I don't share those numbers to be discouraging. I share them because they tell you something real. The buyers are out there. They know what they're looking at. They've been watching these properties too. And when pricing finally aligns with where buyers believe the market is, they also move. Price adjustments are creating movement. Some properties that sat for months are finally getting traction once pricing aligns with where buyers believe the market is today. And that's not a negative story. That's a market doing what markets do. Now, the mainland market, and I'm specifically watching Harbor Township right now, is telling a different story. 11 properties went under contract. Several of those went in under a week. When you see properly priced homes moving in 6 days or less, that tells you buyers aren't passive out there. They're watching, they're ready, and when value shows up, they too recognize it immediately. The mainland market still appears healthy when homes hit the market positioned correctly from day one. Somers Point. Let's talk Somers Point. It was very quiet this week. One new waterfront condo came to market. No new contracts, no price adjustments, nothing. And I want to say that plainly instead of adding something to it, because not every week is an active week in every market. And pretending otherwise, it doesn't help you. So if you're watching Somers Point, that's your update. But we'll keep on watching it. Here's what I want to leave you with. The homes creating activity right now, the ones going under contract in days instead of months, are the ones that enter the market already aligned with buyer expectations. Not the ones that started high and hoped. Not the ones that waited for an offer before adjusting. The ones that came in right are the ones. And I've watched this long enough to know fear makes sellers hold on to a number that the market has already moved past. That's understandable when you stop and remember this is usually the biggest asset in someone's life. But the truth is, a property that sits on the market for 5 or 6 months often ends up selling for less than it would have if it had been positioned correctly from day one. So if you're thinking about listing, the most important conversation you have with your agent is an honest one about where buyers are, not where you hope they be. And if you're a buyer, the properties that are priced right are still moving fast. Being prepared isn't just advice. It's what will give you a real shot. So that's your JoAnn at the Shore, Jersey Shore Market Minutes update for May 2026. If any of this is speaking to a decision you've been trying to make, reach out. I'm here. There's a link in the description box below. You can schedule a quick discovery call with me. I promise you, no pressure, no agenda. Just a simple conversation. We talk through where you are and what actually makes sense for your situation. This is the South Jersey Shore Market in Minutes, and I will see you on the next one.